Man, it makes me mad. I guess I'll be calling today to get it fixed. Hopefully I can find somebody to come to me and fix it. So I should have had gloves on, but I got mechanic hands. They're still hard as a rock. But that's one way to start the day. I did catch it on this tarp here, so I'll have to sweep all that stuff off and get the... I'm bringing some plastic with me to cover it, and then I'm gonna cut out a hole. That way I can see. And then I got some hoodies that I'm gonna throw on the radiator when I'm done. So today we're gonna go and drop it off at the job. It's still pretty wet. It's also frozen too, so it's still a little muddy. So I got the truck ready, the trailer. Then I'll have this tomorrow loaded up, so I pushed my sign out. That way all of it would come out. So, but we're gonna try to use a tripod today. Right in the middle of the road. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting this taken off. Luckily there's not much traffic that comes down here. If it is, it's usually a few here and there, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this off before we get run over. Oh yeah. Let's see, it's already... I like those automatic RPM things. We used to have to go over there on the Kubota. This time I changed that because every time I always threw it up the front side. I didn't have much of a, like where I would try to back in. I tell you one thing, this is mushy back here. Muddle puddles around, which I think we should be a little better. I'm gonna park this way up here. That way I can go down the road and turn around. So, I don't like how my GoPro is just shaking like it. It's only got one screw holding this thing on. So I have to figure it out too, because I mean, these are teeny tiny like glasses pieces, so that way I can get in there and bolt it back down, but I don't know how easy it's going to be. Luckily we still have mulching here from the last time, so that way it'll help it out a lot better to get in there. And I may try to take the 4-foot bucket off because it's just too heavy. But moving stuff out of the way, thing's good. We're going to go ahead and drop that sucker. Forgot about the back glass not being there. All right. So I'm gonna come back in here and mulch some of this stuff up. This is where I think the what was those people, the power line company come in and done all this. It was a lot chunkier than this, which I literally ran over it for probably about maybe 30-40 seconds. It was just enough to go up and back. We're gonna try to help these customers out a little bit more. I take care of all my customers. That way it won't have big chunks like that. It'll make it look a little cleaner. But yeah, so this used to be right here, but I didn't get much swing, so that way I can get all up in here to back right in there. So we're doing good now. I didn't know how to use these. I thought they were supposed to move, but you're supposed to lift it up. So anywho. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fill up the machine. I think it's about half full. We're gonna work. It's pretty mushy. You can see tires a little bit wet, but it's only top side, so you know, it's just not too bad. So we are gonna go ahead, get fueled up, All right, so right here we're cutting, there's a big pine right here, and we're cutting a wall. So we've already got it level where we need it over there, so we'll just follow it. So I'm coming in, and they don't want no big trees, bigger trees like these right here. These stand, so some of them we're ripping up, that way it'll look cleaner. So they're wanting the state park look without the little stobs and stuff like that. When you rake all this stuff back, you have little stobs like that big. But we're doing this to up there, that's really probably like 40-50 foot, which all I'm gonna do is come in here and knock it down, pull it up. On this side too, we're going to right here around this curve. You see the bend right there, we're cutting it straight the same way down that way, just completely clearing it and then clearing behind the camper over that way. So we're looking at probably about 4 days. So today I'm spending most of the day today ripping everything up. So I'm hoping to have all this ripped up, which shouldn't take long, because I literally just came in here, knocked all this down, and started that way within 10 minutes. So it is pretty muddy over here. This is where I sunk the truck, the F-250 over there. I'll show you the aftermath of it. So I need to go cover it up so that way it would have time to dry. And this is where we kind of come in here and mulch some of this up. Kind of kept it from going that way, because we had some of them like this that was leaning that way. So what we'll do is we'll be cutting these, or I will, and moving them out of the way so that way all this can be cleared. So I'm gonna get this done today, move them trees out of the way, or out of the way further, so that way I can get in there and mulch it tomorrow. So I'll have this mulched and that mulched probably tomorrow. So let's get at it. And we got the tripod, so hopefully I can do good. It's still pretty mushy back here, you can kind of see right here. So when we come in with the mulch, it'll kind of throw it where I need it to go. So there's that tree there, and then we're just cutting it. There's literally one, there's probably about 3 or 4 of them right in line of it, so we ain't got nothing to worry about right in here. All right, so about 30 minutes I had all this done. About 30, 35, 40-ish. Just scraping and pushing and pulling, which you got a bunch of sticks laying around here. But what I'm after is the big 4, 5, 6 inch stuff. This little peddly stuff right here, which the mulcher will rip it up anyway. So we are pushing to these trees right here. See, there's a right over here, so we're just going to kind of level it up. So we'll push right on these, so just a little bit past it to kind of square it up with that, because that's probably another 5 foot past these. So this stuff is just thin. I can come in and mulch it, and then the mulch will lay, you know, where I need to. We got little twigs here and there. I'm trying to rip up without digging holes in it, because I don't need chunks of dirt. So I'm throwing it in piles, so that way I can work my way in, slinging all the mulch into where it needs to be. So a bunch of cedars, pines, some hardwood saplings, but they're only like an inch and a half. So, but this is what we got. And then I didn't bring my chainsaw, I think. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna rip these corners up right here, and then I've got some over here. And then we may do a time lapse on that. So I haven't tried it, I don't think. Ugh. Phew. This stuff's ripping up pretty easy because everything's so wet. We've got skidder marks over there, or tracks, car tracks or something, truck tracks. It's also wet over there too. But so we've got to go. There's that power line right in there. And we got to come straight in. So I'll have to go over there. There's their water hoses that they got for main water back here until they get all this cleared. But we are going to try, you can see right here. So I'm trying to throw some of this dirt on top of it, but I'm gonna come over here and probably push about another 10 foot, or maybe that may be the right, because you can see there, and then that's where we mulched over there. We got nice clean grass coming up over there. But we're gonna come in and rip this bigger stuff, and then rip some of this stuff, because they've got a bunch of trees laid down right there. We're gonna throw it over here, so that way I can get this cleaned up and then move all that stuff last. So they said they wasn't too worried about it, but they wanted the stuff around it cleaned up. So, and all that, you can see how the sun's coming out. See, now we got this much, so we get to hurry up and get this cleaned up, and then we can get some of the sun in here. So that way I can do mulching all day tomorrow, and then the next day come in and excavate a bunch of it, and then mulch for the half a day. So me coming in here and eating this stuff up should be a lot better. Then after we do that, the big trees will lay all this back down again like it is, but it'll be more clean. So this is their water source right here. So I've got to get it cleaned up, and then that corner's just right in here. So, and then you can see the camper over there, and then there's a deer trail. So we'll be cleaning up to about that tree right there. So that's how much we'll be pushing. I think it is. But we will be pushing all this today. By the time it's already 1:30, so we'll be pushing pretty quick, because we've already got that over there and we've already started over here. So by 4 or 5 o'clock, then we'll have everything ripped out, come in and mulch it. So we'll go ahead, and I got the camera charged up. That's my problem, I can't never keep this thing charged. Wish this thing would quit flopping. It's only got one screw holding it on, so I tightened it up, but it ain't doing too good. So I'm gonna rip all this stuff out over here, start throwing it this way, and then work my way back over here, and we'll get that water hose cleaned up, move out, because I may forget and run over or break it. So But I'm gonna go ahead and get that cleaned up and then rip all this stuff out of the way, and then we'll work down that way, and then we'll start pushing this way, start throwing this where we need it, to where when we mulch it, it'll sling it everywhere we need to. So should be good. All right, so this is how much I got done. Fixed to pick up how much water's here. You can hear it crunching under my foot. But now you can see where the entrance is at. So I think it'll take a lot less time since it's already on the ground. I'll just come up to it and smack it with the mulching knives. So it is pretty wet, mushy, pasty. So this is how much I got knocked down, which there's a little bit of stuff right here, but there's somewhere in here that he wants me to start cutting back somewhere. I'm not really sure. I think he just said pick somewhere. But now you can see how much sun's coming in here now. Some of that's kind of blocking it, but it should be a lot better than it was. There's old logging trail right in here. You can see right there and right there. So I was fixing to get the water hose on this side back, push it back. But now you can see that it's a lot better. So all I gotta do is come in and mulch it tomorrow. It's very thin, other than the bigger trees. So I'll come in and kind of clean this up a little bit more. And then there's somewhere I'll just cut back. So I'll have to rip up these right here. It's just so wet. Maybe we'll be able to start tomorrow. It's supposed to be cold the rest of the week, so kind of makes it a little harder for me to come in and clean it up a little better. It is 3 o'clock or 3:10, so I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then so that way all I can do is spend most of the day coming in and mulching. So this is pretty nice. This is probably the levelest and cleanest I've ever done, so not much rock in this one. Most of the time I get hills, slopes, mud, creeks, which we got some coming up, but I'm gonna let it dry out a little bit more, because I mean it's dried out some, but not enough for where we'll be going. So which is pretty pasty right in here. All right, so this is what I done. I got all that pushed down, and then I started ripping out some of this at an angle so that way it'll be a nice angle coming up. So he's wanting me to come down through here, clean it up, shoot down that way. There's a creek somewhere down there, and then he wants me to clean all this too. So which is a lot more hardwood right here versus all this right in here. So started getting a little wet over there, so this is a little bit more dry. So you can kind of see there where it's, I mean that's mushy over that way, so I think because of the pine needles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna kind of scrape it all the way down to where I think I remember where he wanted me to. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. It's already 4. So it's been a few hours. So that's what I got. So I spent half a day over here. I think I started around 12. So it's already 4. You can see right here. Started getting real mushy because this is a low spot. So I may try to take out a few more to make it look more squared. Then I'll deal with that tomorrow. Let some of that sun come in. which it ain't gonna dry it out. But then when we come in and mulch, it'll kind of help me level out that and then sit on top of it, so that'll be a lot better. Let's go ahead and walk it up there and we'll get it fueled up. So we should be finished for the day after I fill it up and walk it back. Don't need nobody to see the machine. Alright, just got to the house. Got the old kitty cat ready. So I really like these 14s. I can't wait to see what 16 plies, because that thing's about to pop out and that thing's just like, yeah, we good. So I got it the way I needed for weight wise. So we ready, got this thing ready. That way we should be shredding in the morning. Some of these teeth are a little rough, but they still got a nice clean edge. So we should be ready. If not, then I can spend, after I get done mulching, I can put those new ones on if I had to. So we should be ready to shred in the morning. It's already getting chilly now. It's chilly, but we'll see what we got tomorrow.